friends. Is the market going up? Is the market going down? It's like we're all just in a frenzy. We're like, oh gosh, is it going up? Is it going? Talk about number go down. Talk about number go down for like a theft or a scam or your late night button mashing. I'm getting very good at this button mashing. A trade late at night and you're exhausted, prone to mistakes. I've done this too. But here to help prevent that, hopefully, is Michael K. From Wallet Guard. Welcome, Michael K. Tech Media Trends, Rug Radio. Thank you for coming.
What's happening? How's it going, everybody?
Dude, I'm so glad to have you here, especially at this time where, you guys have been making a statement. I've been long trying to get, you on here because you guys have helped, at least, I think 40 million in assets saved is actually pretty low as an estimate. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it's over 55 million. So yeah, definitely a little bit of a difference there.
But that's the thing, is just like, I feel like that's the reported number. It's like, it's saved me personally, from making, mistake trades or identifying, scams and phishing operations. And over 100,000 of us are using it. So it's like a known thing. But here you guys go, coming with like I think one of the best innovations in wallet security that I've seen in a long time. And we'll talk a little bit about this game changer a bit later.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think security for most people is an afterthought. And even when you consider it from a project standpoint, they care about getting a chief vibes officer as opposed to chief security officer. And generally what ends up happening is they talk about security after people get rugged, after people get their wallets drained. So we could change that sentiment if we're just proactive about it. And that's what we really try to make easy with Wallet Guard.
I feel like with runes, I've heard inklings of scams here and there, but it's growing. Like the number's growing, and the ways and the sophistication around it is growing. Is it a challenge to keep up with all the different platforms and chains?
Well, yeah, I mean, with cybersecurity, it's changing every second of every day. And that's why I'm blessed to have a team that actually is literally putting in 24/7 into the space. We built Wallet Guard in the Bear. We actually all live in one hacker house. We literally live together and put in these 20-hour days, 22-hour days.
No way. You guys are all living together? That's amazing.
Yeah. We're all in one place. Yeah. Just, trying to make it so it's hyper scaling, trying to get it to the point where we're constantly pushing out features and really trying to show people that, this is the right security tool. It exists right now. We're not asking people for money to go build something. This is something that you could enable within seconds and also make sure that you're protecting your crypto, plus that you're onboarding people safely as well.
Yeah, if you don't have it already, I think by the end of this interview, you're going to go run down and get it. I'll put the link down below, but it's just like, A, having it, but B, this new feature that we're going to talk. What steps as builders, those who are looking to take those first steps of builders, should we observe, A, personally, and then B, for their communities?
Yeah, so I think what really is super important that nobody talks about is the concept of Web 2 before you Web 3. And a lot of projects, they don't handle their internal security properly to begin with. So for example, the importance of an antivirus, or making sure that two-factor authentication is on every one of the important accounts tied to the project. So there are multiple different variables that we really like to approach in different layers, right? We want a Web 2 before you Web 3. We want people to understand the concept of an antivirus and how to properly manage their credentials. These are things that are, again, unfortunately an afterthought for most people. So if we're able to give them the right tools and also the right resources, we're combining both. We're combining the tools and the education because we think that you need both. Like you mentioned before, it could be the middle of the night, you're not paying attention, you click on the wrong thing. That's where tooling comes into play. And in other cases, vice versa.
Totally. You mentioned education, and I noticed that you guys were going to start or have been working towards a Wallet Guard Academy. What is that?
Yeah, I could actually share my screen real quick and show you guys some examples if that's cool.
Yes, please.
Awesome.
Share all the visuals you have at it. Down below there, there you go. And
let me know if you guys can see this.
Got it.
Awesome. So everything that we speak about today is in one place. It's on our website, walletguard.app. So that's where you'll see all of our different security tools as well as our educational materials. But to start off, yeah, the Wallet Guard Academy is a resource completely free that we created where we did the research for you. We show you how to safeguard your keys, the best methods of managing your credentials, how to set up your devices securely, and including what antivirus to use, what two-factor authentication to use, all these different resources and links that we're giving completely for free so that you can make sure that all of your information is oh, there we go. Hold on one second. um, Trying to switch the tab, so that all your information is properly locked down and your assets are secured. So this is a matter of setting up your device the right way so that you could degen safely. So getting an antivirus, getting an ad blocker, using two-factor authentication. We really tried to make it simple and put everything in one place for everybody.
That's what I love about you guys. You guys are great communicators as a team. Is that part of what you do, or is that everybody kind of together working on how to best communicate these practices?
Yeah, I mean, as partnership director, I'm really out on the front lines. I love working with communities, so we actually do wallet safety sessions, Discord security calls. It's all free. Like it's literally unlimited value, unlimited utility that you're bringing to your community by talking about security first. I want to give a big shout out to you also for doing this for Rug Radio and stuff like that. So it's a massive win for everybody. So yeah, I'm pretty much on the front lines. Doing wallet safety sessions, co-hosting Twitter Spaces, and trying to really create these different, connections with these different communities.
And I love that you guys are so active on Twitter too. If you don't follow, I'm gonna put their link down below. Follow Wallet Guard because they actually do like these alerts and like there was one just the other day about what was it just checking to make sure that you remember to revoke approvals. Revoking approvals. Is that actually dangerous? Like just kind of like engaging with the site and just forgetting about it and leaving that approval on there.
Yeah, so wallet approvals are an on-chain action. A lot of times when people get compromised, they're told, make sure you disconnect your wallet from the website. That literally does
Yeah.
absolutely nothing. That is
Oh,
a
really?
local action to the device that you're using. So we really want to stress the concept of why revoking these on-chain approvals are important, because they might be open for assets that you actually care about, and they might be exploited at some point down the line. And I'll give you a quick example. Let's say you at one point listed a collection, an asset from a collection that you actually liked on Blur or OpenSea or X2Y2. You now have an open approval for that collection. And if a scammer or an attacker or a wallet drainer wants to take advantage of that open approval, they can actually use your, for example, Blur or OpenSea contract approval on the collection that you sold once in the past in order to list your assets for 0 Ethereum in a private sale directly to the attacker's wallet. This is why with wallet drainers, people's assets are taken very quickly because it's self-executing. So in the Wallet Guard security dashboard, we actually have the ability for you to revoke your approvals. So you can actually jump into the dashboard, see all of your assets at risk, and I'll take you guys there now.
Let's go.
Yeah. Here's a quick little example. So this is one of the wallets with a approval.
Poor health. Oof.
Yep. So
1% does not look good.
1% does not look good, and it's because there is this open approval on Pepe, which is the majority of the value inside of this wallet. So we actually have the ability to simulate what our score would be if we were to revoke this approval.
Wow.
And we can actually revoke that approval directly inside of the dashboard of Wallet Guard. So, just keeping everything in a nice, clean little interface, making sure that users can see all their security health.
And I think, as you mentioned in that post, that approval actually is a transaction on the blockchain. So there, wait until gas is low, and you can kind of go in there and do some maintenance.
Yeah, for a couple of bucks at this point, you're basically revoking approvals on assets that are worth way more than the cost of just a small gas fee, so that you can make sure that if that contract or open approval gets exploited, you're not caught in the middle, essentially.
I know what I'm doing tonight. Holy hell. Because that's the thing is I had that assumption too, that I would just go to the wallet and as you said, locally, I would just kind of click off like disconnect, disconnect, disconnect. But on the blockchain, I've got some approvals open.
Yeah, no,
For some
definitely.
bad projects.
Definitely a big difference between revoking approvals and disconnecting your wallet from a website. And that's another thing that we like to tie in from the security dashboard and also with all of our other products. So the concept of education. So as you're in this approvals area, you can actually read the article about a crash course on wallet approvals. So what is the point of wallet approvals, why you should revoke them, why it's okay to keep some of them. So again, we're really tying that education with the tooling so that users actually understand what they're going to do before they do it.
Guys, like, subscribe, Wallet Guard, and the show here, and share this out because this is really important information. This is, something, and I love the format here of just being able to go to a dashboard and being able to check that, because that would be my next question. It's like, oh gosh, how do I check, what approvals I've made in the past? And here you go. It's going to look at your wallet and give you a bit of a health score.
Yeah, yeah, and it also gives you a lot more information. So you can actually see if there's any malicious transactions in the past in this wallet. It's pretty clean. You could even see if your wallet versions for your extensions are out of date because your browser does not automatically update your wallet extensions. So we can actually show you how to force update your extensions inside of your browser, which is another great security tool, considering the reason why they release updates is to patch security issues. There's also checking for honeypots, making sure that you're not interacting with anything malicious that may have been airdropped to you. There's tons of different features in the security dashboard, but one of the latest features that we actually just dropped is called soft locking. So this
Oh
is an
boy.
awesome feature. Yeah, this is
Here's
an
the
awesome.
alpha, guys. Here's the alpha. Share this point in the video with everybody. This is mental. Please proceed with
Yeah.
soft lock.
Yeah, no, so this is great. So essentially what this lets you do is it lets you soft lock NFTs and tokens that you never want any contract interacting with. So for example, I'm gonna, let's say, my mana token right here, I'm gonna unlock it really quickly just to show you how easy it is to lock and unlock. But let's say I never want to sell or have any sort of contract approval on my mana. I simply click on this lock button. I hit lock now. And within seconds, for no gas, my mana is directly locked inside of my wallet. So if anything, any sort of contract interaction or transaction tries to interact with it during a simulation in Wallet Guard, it'll stop it dead in its tracks. So it's another layer of security that you're adding to your favorite assets so that.
So if I button mash and I get into a drainer situation, that's going to be protected. That those assets that I mark and earmark, as you call with the soft lock, is actually going to protect it from those specific types of attacks.
Yeah, as long as you're using Wallet Guard, it's going to be able to, during the time of simulation, make sure that you can't continue to the next step, even if you are trying to force a wallet drainer to take this asset from you. So, and it's a matter of just coming in and unlocking it if you do want to interact with it again.
That's so huge, guys, and just kudos to you for identifying that sort of thing that as a DJ, you really probably aren't going to mess with certain assets, but you want to be able to engage with other assets, and it's been so hard for me, like contributing and working with having assets, especially in 3D, and engaging on sites with them, and having to go to a hard wallet. But being able to then just have it into the hot wallet and being able to protect it within the hot wallet is very, very interesting. Very, very cool.
Yeah, yeah, and no, it's really great. I mean, there's even other cool parts to the security dashboard. Like, let's say you're onboarding people into crypto, and you're talking about OpenSea and Magic Eden and all these different projects and different dApps and DEXs and stuff like that. They might go the next day and try to figure it out themselves. So they're going to go to Google, they're going to type install MetaMask, and they're most likely going to end up scamming themselves before they even get into the space. So if they got Wallet Guard first, we actually have an area in the security dashboard called the dApp store. So they can come to the dApp store and they could tap on the wallet tag and get all the official direct download links for all the most popular wallets. So they don't have to go searching and potentially click on a scam website.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And we know, like, from these reports of others, like, even ones that you find at the top of Google have worked their way up, and have become, scam links. And so having one source of trusted areas in which to get these is really, really fantastic. You guys are thinking through so much in terms of this. It's just like how does the community give back to you? These are all like free, guys. This is all free. Is there like a wallet that you have, Michael? We just like drop in coins. What do we do here?
No, we definitely, we don't want to do that. But, we have been open source. We have been completely free. Everything that I've shown you so far, regarding the browser extension, the security dashboard. We even have a MetaMask snap. So
Yep.
you can actually enable Wallet Guard directly inside of your MetaMask through a snap feature. So you'll see transactions in plain English instead of just the gas fee. So think about how game changing that is for understanding what you're going to do before you do it. So even the academy completely free. So everything's been free and open source, and this is now proof of product. We have something that we've shown needs to exist in the space, already exists through Wallet Guard, and we've saved people over $50 million so far. So this is going to allow us to kick on monetization. And with monetization, we're going to have Wallet Guard Pro, which is going to be for the heavier users. So they're going to be able to get unlimited simulations, unlimited locking of assets, and access to other parts of the application while keeping it completely free and open source for the masses. So it's a win-win for everybody. And we're actually partnering up with an antivirus company as well as a crypto insurance company. So not only are you getting your Web3 security through Wallet Guard, but you're also getting your Web2 security through an antivirus and a crypto insurance policy as a fail-safe on your assets in case you still mess up somehow. So we think it's going to be
Yo.
game changing.
Massive. With each step, you guys are thinking ahead and thinking for these problems in the community. I really love this concept of it being almost like an augmented reality product. Almost, it's just like you're in this, you're out there in the world, and then it's going to tell you like, oh yeah, stay away from that chick. She's bad. And you're like, okay, cool, and you keep going. How much
Yeah.
of a vision do you have and the team have in that one house together for Wallet Guard? Like in 5, 10 years, what does Wallet Guard look like?
Yeah, so the great part about this is that we also do B2B. So being able to feed this information to wallet as a service providers or different projects. For example, there's Dream OS, which is a crypto cloud-based operating system, and they actually added the phishing detection layer API from Wallet Guard
Nice.
directly into the OS itself. So every single application in the OS, whether it's Telegram, Discord, Twitter DMs, whatever the case is, every single message as far as a link is confirmed whether it has a wallet drainer or something malicious or not before the user even interacts with it. And that's game changing when it comes to security. You don't even have to enter the website. You don't have to connect your wallet, and you don't even have to run a simulation. But Wallet Guard is going to tell you, hey, this is something you don't want to do before you even jump into it. So, feeding that information to wallet as a service providers and different dApps is also a massive win because now we're taking and aggregating information from both B2B and B2C and making the security engine even stronger. So just so people know, Wallet Guard is not a whitelist blacklist. We actually built a machine learning model that is able to detect scams and wallet drainers within seconds of them being created. So it could be the middle of the night and a Twitter page gets SIM swapped or a Discord gets hacked and they start dropping drainer links and fake free mints. We already caught it for all of the Wallet Guard users. So it's literally that simple to take a couple of seconds to grab Wallet Guard. Again, it's not a wallet. We're not interacting with your assets. We're just a lightweight open source security layer that sits in between you and your preferred wallet that's going to warn you about shit and tell you things in plain English so that you understand what's happening before it actually happens. It's literally a no-brainer.
There's so much firepower and horsepower behind what you guys are doing, but as you said, you guys are keeping it really simple, and that was one of the things that sort of I remarked on when I finally got into got my wallet guard and got it going. I was just like, oh, do I need it? And then even I had apprehension about like, well, is that going to add more risk to me? And so after sort of talking to the friends and seeing some things that went down, I was just like, okay, well, I need this, and this is a trusted company, so it's an extension, guys. This is an extension. Is it just on Chrome and Chrome facsimiles?
Yeah, so right now the browser extension is for Chromium-based browsers. So you got Google
Yeah.
Chrome, Microsoft Edge, you have Opera, you have Brave. So any Chromium-based browser, it's a browser extension for. The
Okay.
MetaMask Snap is for any desktop version of MetaMask. That's going to be coming to mobile soon. And then the security dashboard is actually mobile friendly. So you can actually connect on your mobile device your wallet and revoke approvals and improve your wallet health score whether it's mobile or
On the
desktop.
go.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. And again, it's very very simplified. I'll put the link down below. You go to their Twitter. The link is right there. You can click on it. Get the extension. And again, it's just a Chrome extension. It's just like you throw it on there, and when you're using the wallet, it'll pop up as a second window saying, "Hey, in plain English, all that code means X. This asset is being looked at, and this pricing for it, etc." So
Yeah,
super easy to use.
I could actually do a live example of Wallet
Let's
Guard in
do one.
action.
Let's
All
do
right,
one.
let's do it. Let's do it. I'm not sure what like the resolution. Oh, there you go. Okay, full screen. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go to OpenSea,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna just
Let's
pretend
degen.
to.
Let's degen. Let's do this,
Yeah,
guys.
let's degen. Let's do it. Let me just switch my wallet
Down in
here.
down in the comments section below, which one should we buy?
Yeah, which how much ETH should I throw at this
Please
bad boy?
don't.
I'm just signing into my wallet real quick. 1 second here.
I'm trying to hide that for you.
All right. All right. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. So I'm just gonna buy a Nihiling, which is one of my buddy's projects here. Big shout out to the Nihiling community. But so this is going to be an example transaction. So I'm going to pretend to buy this NFT, and I'm going to switch the screen share to the Wallet Guard tab that opened up
Very good.
before my preferred wallet opens up. So this is what it's showing me before my MetaMask or my Phantom or whatever my preferred wallet opens. So what you're going to see is a lot of different pieces of information. So you see the chain that you're interacting on, you see the website that you're on and whether it's actually what it's claiming to be. In this case, it's claiming to be OpenSea, and we are actually verifying that we are on actual OpenSea's website. You also see the contract that you're interacting with and whether it's verified on Etherscan. You see the estimated gas value, which is generally the only thing you would see in, for example, your MetaMask. You're going to see exact assets that you are sending and their values, as well as the exact assets you are receiving and their values, in this case, the OpenSea floor price. So we're showing the user about 5 to 6 different pieces of information directly related to their transaction so they can understand in plain English what's going to happen before it happens instead of just the gas fee or some hex code.
Amazing. And again, that's how simple it is. It's just going to pop up on your left. You're going to have your wallet on your right, and you can kind of just cross reference and be like, oh, this is what that page is telling me in my wallet, and this is the corresponding quote unquote English of it all.
Exactly. And if this was like a wallet drainer or a malicious website and it's stealing our assets, the actual window would be red. It would tell you that you are not getting a free mint. You're actually sending your assets and getting nothing in return. And you're seeing that as opposed to just a gas fee. Think about how much of a game changer that is for someone that you onboard that's not really necessarily familiar with Solidity or smart contract code. This is going to break it down for them. Now, the other great part about Wallet Guard is inside of your simulations, you can actually talk to our AI model and learn more about the transaction. So there's a tab inside of every swap,
Ooh,
claim,
I have
mint, or
not seen that
signature.
tab. Ooh,
Yeah,
let's
yeah. You
go.
tap on Ask Chat Web 3. And what you could do is you could talk to the transaction. So I'm going to actually ask it to explain this transaction. So what it's going to do is it's going to look at on-chain information and information regarding the simulation, and it's going to explain it to the user in plain English so they could learn about the transaction before they hand it off to their preferred wallet. Now, the other great part about this is that it supports over 90 languages and multiple levels of context. So I could say, now explain that in Korean like I'm 5 years old. And our AI model is going to look at on-chain information,
Wow.
break it down into the context of a 5-year-old, and translate it into Korean so that the user understands what they're doing before they do it.
It's fantastic. And again, this is really elucidating in that you guys are really offering, builders an opportunity to onboard people who might not be super familiar with crypto in a new way, in a way that feels a bit more informed, educational, and certainly secure. So this is really fantastic. Thank you for showing me. I didn't even know there was an Ask Chat Web3 bit there that could help. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Now a lot of people just, they don't know about all the different parts of Wallet Guard. And I think like once people actually install it and just take a look, like think about how much we've ran through in just like 15 minutes. We got the security dashboard. I showed you, revoking approvals and simulating improving your health score, checking if your wallet extensions are out of date or if there's any honeypots in your wallet. locking
What's
your
a honeypot? What's a honeypot?
Yeah, a honeypot is something that like you get airdrop that looks like it has value, but when you try to interact with that contract, it actually ends
So
up
my
taking.
entire hidden folder of my NFTs, like I get scared of those NFTs, the ones that they drop in your wallet. All I do is I push hidden. Is that the right thing to do? All I do is just I push hidden. I go to hidden folder and I don't touch them.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, if there's something that you don't know how it got there and it looks suspicious, or you click on it and like there's 1,000 owners but no one sold it and it just looks weird, like Wallet Guard, or if you click on the website and Wallet Guard flags it, I mean, there's so many red flags. It's like you getting spam mail, right? Like 99% of it's going to be
Exactly.
garbage, and you probably shouldn't interact with it at all to begin with. So, that's what really a honeypot is doing, is it's trying to trick the user into basically interacting with something that's going to end up taking more of their assets instead of giving them something that they think is worth something. So this is a fake Gala token. It's not the real Gala. So I have the real Gala token inside of this wallet. And if I ever went to interact with Gala token and I didn't check the contract address of the Gala token I'm interacting with, I could eventually find myself stuck inside of a honeypot where I'm losing my assets thinking that I'm dealing with the right contract when I'm actually not.
Fantastic. Again, there's so much firepower in this, and I know you guys are constantly developing. I do hope to have you back, man, because I think you guys are doing such innovative work that, as you said, it kind of just takes a look at. You just have to sit down and like have somebody like yourself like help us examine and understand what it is that we're looking at, because there's so many sophisticated tools within this, and it belies the simplicity that you guys have here in the education aspect, which I think is just top notch and is really a service to our community, especially those of us who are looking to build, who are looking to bring in people into this space without them getting scammed, and without, because there's a lot of people on the sidelines who are just like, I don't want to get scammed. And so that's a big concern.
No, definitely, like, really appreciate you giving me the stage here to speak about, security. And I think, like, again, like I said before, a lot of projects just don't talk about it until it's too late. So even if one person got any tips or gets any tips from the academy or anything from our tools, it's worth it. That's worth millions of dollars to us, even though we haven't charged anybody anything. And we've been doing this as a free open source initiative. When we see those DMs or we see those comments or those posts about us saving people's assets, that's worth millions of dollars to us. And that's why we all have this mindset. That's why we all decided to live in one house together for over a year.
I want to get
literally
into that
build
too.
it.
I want to have you back on one day, and I just want to get this aspect of this co-living, and I think it's brilliant. I think there's it's called propiquity of just having a closeness to everyone, that is part of the mind hive. There's a strength in that is very, very palpable, and it's clear how fast you guys are iterating and improving this product. Again, over, just when I even from when I got it, it's just like, oh wow, there's another tab there. There's these other things, and clearly with soft lock is absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to start doing that like ASAP,
Yeah.
as well as revoking the rest of the night. So
Yeah. Yeah.
thank you
With
for
gas
these great
being low,
tips.
right?
What's that?
With gas being low for once.
Yes, if gas is being low, this is the time. This is the time to do that type of maintenance. To buy handles.eth and like all
Right.
these sort of things that I think we sort of play with in terms of speculativeness to
Right.
help us gain. But I think there is a big, as you said, a bigger disaster in having that loss, and only looking at that in retrospect, and the health of our wallet and our aspect to digital identity in retrospect, is trepidatious. And the more that we can do now, the less we're going to have to suffer those pains, because it's brutal. We've seen it. We've seen friends of ours go to the emergency room because they just mentally can't handle how tough that is to lose these assets, or in ways that are just so violating. And so, thank you guys for your work. High five to everybody when you're at the dinner table or passing somebody in by the refrigerator today. To the entire Wallet Guard team, so much appreciated your guys' work.
No, really appreciate that, and looking forward to doing a follow-up session in the future. And I think that if we can, help push this information out, share this security information. Look, it doesn't even have to be Wallet Guard. At least when you're onboarding somebody into the space, mention security in some way, because we are each other's security. Banks have multiple layers of security, and when we all came into Web3, we were shooting in the dark. So to have a resource like Wallet Guard, to have the Wallet Guard Academy, and these tools that you could enable within seconds that will literally stop you from losing your assets, and you don't even have to change your wallet or change anything you're doing. These are game changers. These are how we can safely onboard people and make sure that the next wave of people don't go through the process of initiation, which is getting rugged or getting drained. Let's change that sentiment.
All those
You know,
scars, all those rug scars that we all have. Before we go, last thing, Michael, if you would entertain us, what is the one thing, and maybe it's a Web 2 thing, that we are overlooking in terms of security? What's the one thing that you recommend everyone do like right now?
Yeah, so it's kind of twofold. One of them is perform a audit on yourself. For example, your laptop, your smartphone, you probably have pages and pages of programs and applications that you probably haven't used in a long time. You probably have extensions in your browser that are sitting there running in the background. Remove these extra variables that simply do not need to be there before they become security risks, because they're made by third parties, they're running in the background, and they just don't need to be there if you're not using them. And the other thing that I want to highly stress in order to make sure that our social network accounts are kept safe, especially with our Twitter profiles, because a lot of people have been getting SIM swapped, is to simply avoid being SIM swapped by removing your phone number from the account information area in your Twitter account. This is like the easiest step in the entire world. If you go to Twitter settings and you go to account information and you see your phone number there, remove it. Even if you have two-factor authentication enabled, your phone number being in the account information screen renders two-factor authentication useless. And you getting your phone number SIM swapped is out of your control. That is someone at the phone company being socially engineered with information that's already out there about you on the dark web into thinking that they are you. And now they get access to your Twitter account and they start dropping drainer links. So make sure that your followers are following you and trust you enough for you to take the 2 seconds right now to go to your Twitter settings and remove your phone number from your account. It's literally that simple to not get SIM swapped. And unfortunately, people don't do it until they get SIM swapped. This is just human nature. People do not care. People are not going to take a look at Wallet Guard until they get drained the first time. Just like Web 2 mentality. You're not going to care about your files until you lose your files. You're not going to care about having a backup until you need one. So let's be proactive. Let's change that sentiment.
Let's change that sentiment, that point of view. And as you said, there's a duty of care to our communities. For those of us who are, KOLs or founders or people who, have just been in the space a while and have that trust of the communities that we vibe with. This is important for you to do for them. So thank you again, Michael K. We will catch you next time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the stage. Really appreciate you.